Hey everybody, Jessica Coulter here, CEO and founder of Ace Cookie Tutoring. Today we're going to be talking about learning styles and how to use them, why it matters. So I want to know, what is your learning style? Do you know? I am most definitely a visual learner, also a little bit kinesthetic, definitely not auditory. So if you know what kind of learner you are, let me know down below. And before we really go into how to use your learning style, just want to let you know that again, Jessica Coulter here. I am the one talking to you all about this, all about Ace Cookie Tutoring as well, my tutoring company that serves students that are in 3rd grade and up, all the way up through adults in grad school here in Gardner, Kansas, as well as online. And I would love to help you or your child with ACT prep or middle school math, or maybe even that essay you've been working on for a class. So definitely would love to contact you if you're looking for some help. And if you've got a need that isn't one of my specialties, would still love to talk because I help with much more than that. So let's jump into it, guys. Let's talk about learning styles. So how do you use them? Why does it matter? Well, the first thing, if you didn't let me know down below in the comments what your learning style is, I want to know, is that because you don't know what your learning style is? Is it because it doesn't really seem like you have one? I encourage you to take a quiz online to find out what your learning style is. Because the sooner you know what your learning style is or your learning type is, it's going to make your life so much easier. It's going to make school easier, and it's also going to make work easier. You know, if you're in a career or or an older student or an older adult, for the sake of what you're good at, and you'll have a better understanding of why you're good at certain things and not so good at other things. Now, when it comes to school, you want to know, do you learn best when the teacher's writing notes on the board for you? Do you learn best when you guys are getting up and doing an activity? Or do you learn best maybe when you're just listening to something? Those are all very different traits of the 3 different types of learners. And knowing how to incorporate them into homework is another skill. And I want to make that very easy for you, very easy for your child. So I put together a homework checklist. So if you want to know how to read your homework directions very easily, and you want to know what kind of homework to actually do, or you have to try to do if you're given options by your teacher, then send me an email. It's acecookie@gmail.com. Or if you're watching this on Facebook right now, feel free to send me a message through Facebook and just, hey, I want that homework checklist. I want to know what I should do, how I should read those directions. Because it might seem kind of silly, well, we all know how to read directions. Well, if you're an auditory learner, the way you read the directions is going to be a little different, if not a lot different, than a kinesthetic learner. Because what you need as an auditory learner is going to be very different than a kinesthetic learner. Now, if we take this from school and we go into the professional environment, I want to have you imagine what it's like to give a presentation. To give the presentation, or maybe be at the meeting or be watching the presentation. Again, if you're kinesthetic and you're sitting there, you're going to start tapping your foot. And that's because, I don't want to say you're fidgety, but at the same time you want to be moving around. You're going to be tapping your foot, you might be clicking your pen, you might be taking notes. You need to do something to keep yourself occupied and somehow moving while restrained in that seat. Now, if you're a visual learner, you're going to be looking for those pretty pictures. When you're asked what you thought of that presentation, you're going to remember all those charts, all those graphs, the color of the background on the slides, the font that was used, if it's fun colors. That's what's going to catch your eye. Now, auditory, if the person just talked and talked a lot, you're not going to have any idea what the font was, you're not going to have any idea what color shirt the presenter was wearing, and you're not going to be moving around a lot. You're just going to be listening. You might be able to tell, if someone was talking on the phone across the hall. You might be able to see if someone was saying stuff under their breath or if they're listening to music. So again, these things, these types of learning styles impact not only school, but also your work life after school. Now, I really, like I said, want to help you guys out, help you understand your learning styles, and want you to be successful starting in school so then you can be successful later on. Now, a way you guys can do that, if you're on YouTube, make sure you become a subscriber. And if you're on Facebook, become a follower. That way you guys know the next time I go live, because I'm going to be bringing all sorts of great tips and tricks to you guys via video. Trying to go for daily, but do know it kind of varies the time. So that's why you've got to become a subscriber or follower so you're always ready. So when I'm ready. Now, one last thing here I want to say about learning styles is I have taken a lot of time to do some research and kind of first-hand knowledge, as well as some of my tutoring students have given some input. But I've put together a presentation, a training, all about using your learning style to earn A's. And I would love to help you become my next student that figures out your learning style and uses that knowledge to become an A student. So if you're interested in that, then definitely email me. You've got my email in the description, acecookietutoring@gmail.com. Or again, if you're on Facebook, feel free to send me a message via Facebook so I can tell you all about that training. Now, in the meantime, I really want to make sure you have what you need to do well on homework. So remember, if you want to get that free homework checklist for all learning styles, just send me an email or a message so that way we can help you figure out if you're an auditory, kinesthetic, or visual learner. Figure out what kind of learner you are so we can then figure out what kind of homework you want to do, what kind of assignments you're going to be great at, and certain things to avoid depending on your learning style. So thank you so much, guys. Have a great night. We'll see you in the next video.